Okay, so let's look at crypto. Um, I mean, obviously, you all seen that we're taking a huge shit right now. So yeah, fun times. Let's go over to Buttcoin first. And I like to just sort of scale out and let everybody see how I kind of line this shit up and how I look at charts maybe a little bit differently um, than some other people. And I'm going to take the EMAs off and TKP, TRM off for now, just to make this super simple. So I hear, well, you missed these wicks, right? And like that's not you're going from candle body to wick and blah blah blah. And I think all that's valid, and I think you know to me, TA is more of an art than a science, and people get similar results often doing this in a bit different way. Some people use Fibonacci, and some people use Elliott Wave, and I mean, I go by where I see support levels and trends. That's just the way I do it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just what I do, and it's what works for me. So let's look at Bitcoin. And just to give you some idea of how I got these lines on Bitcoin, I want to turn the candles off and I want to go to a line graph. And as you can see, a line chart is really going to show you that maybe um, those wicks aren't all they're cracked up to be. So as you can see, the channel is almost perfect, really. And then if you look at, the channel midline here, you can see it's pretty close to hitting some of the highs and lows. And that's really on my channels. That's really what gives me confidence that my channel is good is, I can pick out a top and a bottom of the channel pretty easily. But when that midline really hits a lot of candles, um, like you're going to see there, 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 there. I'm pretty locked in on really liking the channel. Now, what is this pink line right here? Well, this pink line is a potential support and resistance area that I drew in. Um, as you can see, support, 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 support. Then it fell down to the bottom of the channel. Resistance, resistance, resistance till it broke out, then back up. Then we hit this high right here. This is a high resistance. Resistance, 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 fell down, almost tagged support, back up, almost into resistance, which, as you can see by my lovely RSI here, makes sense, right? We didn't make it above that resistance line while we did make a higher high on the chart, right? A higher high on the chart. We did not reach out and hit that resistance. So, I'm looking for my first bounce opportunity right here at this area that I highlighted long ago with this trend line. So that would be about 37 something. And it can undercut the line. I'm not too worried about an undercut of the line. What matters to me is it eventually staying above or confirming that it's going lower and going lower. If it does go lower, I think we see, close to that 30 area here where we've tagged before. And it could just faff around in there for a while if it wanted to, maybe, or it could try to find the channel bottom and bounce off. And I would think, if it played out over the course of weeks, it may find this 25, 26 area before it decides to turn back up. So that would be May, thereabouts, April, May, unless it just went straight down. And there's nothing to say that it can't go straight down because, as I've noted in the past, when the weekly RSI is under 50, not so good things happen. I mean, it's obvious. It's not so oversold that it can't pull in some more, right? Like, I mean, the COVID drop, it came down to about a 30 RSI, and on the stochastic, that was about a 28. We're at that on the Stoke now, but we need to see if this area will hold. It may. We'll see, but 37's got a hold, or we're definitely, um, I should say, most likely revisiting 30. So that's what I'm looking for on the old butt coin. Let's take a look real quick at Ethereum, and not looking great. Similar chart setup. I'll turn the bigger picture channel on for you there. Just kind of how that looks. But this is the primary channel Ethereum is in. And as you can see from the high, it hit another high before it dumped. And last time it hit the high, I mean, we dumped better part of 60%. I mean, wow, what a dump, right? Like that's it's a pretty big move. I mean, even if you go from the candle body to the candle body, I mean, we're looking at a move of, what is that, 45, 47%. So if we think about it in that regard and go from here, 45%, wow, bags, that's good. Um, you're going to be right there at the 26, 25, high 25s on Ethereum. Um, there's no reason to say that it can't go lower, and that would be roughly 19. But we don't. I personally don't want to see that in Ethereum. So again, if that's almost a 60% drop, we go from here, 60% drop. We're at 19.5. So that's kind of the way it's shaking out right now. Doesn't mean it'll happen. Doesn't mean that it can't happen either, right? As we know, crypto is very volatile, and it could easily fall off. But what I'm really concentrating on is Polkadot. I have the channel already drawn in. See, there it is. But Polkadot's so new that I'm not really going for a top right now, but rather I'm looking at a bottom. And if we look at the bottom, it has checked off of this trend line. Now, from where the trend line is to where it cut below, that's roughly about 4%. I'm looking at like maybe a 3, 2.5, something like that. So I'm going to try to pick up some Polkadot, around 2070, something like that. I've got an alert set for 2069, but it may happen, it may not. If it doesn't, I'm happy to wait. So this is one that I'm really looking to own for myself, along with my Bitcoin holdings. Um, I just really like the opportunity to be able to get sizable interest with Polkadot. Feel pretty safe with it. It seems to be one that's being accumulated by a lot of crypto funds. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. Um, it's not investment advice, but yeah, Dumpy Dumperson. Have a great Saturday, everyone. Take care.